Hey everyone, and welcome back to Timeless. Unfortunately, Bloodbreed Marauder plus Crashing Footfalls is still taking up 100% of my headspace, and I was thinking about it and thinking about different shells we could try to put it in, different styles of deck, and then realized we actually do have a red-green deck that doesn't run many one-drops that we can just slot this right into. So the rest of this deck is our Gruul gift deck that we've been having a lot of fun with lately. The only one-drops that deck natively ran was Seed of Hope and Phalos Looting, and at least in my opinion, we could just max out on copies of Cash Grab to go ahead and replace them. And then in the flex slots for the deck, we can put Bloodbreed Marauder plus Crashing Footfalls, and this package is pretty free. And this is a deck that was already wanting to play Rumble and Cash Grab, already trying to hit Delirium, already trying to fill the graveyard. So it really does seem free to play this additional package in the deck. Now, there are, of course, lots of downsides to this. First of all, we can't play one mana spells, including our sideboard, unfortunately, so I did have to change the sideboard a lot, which I'm concerned about. Number two is that we're kind of making the deck unfocused. This deck already did two things, and it did them pretty well. It did sneak attack, and then it also did shifting woodland copy things. Now it's doing three things. Now we're doing copy from graveyard, sneak attack from hand, and cascade, which requires the graveyard. So we might have made the deck a little too unfocused by trying to put a new combo into it, but this is really powerful. In this deck, you can very easily spend 2 mana to go ahead and put 11 power into play, and that's a very legitimate thing to do. And your opponent might have to spend all their removal spells and all their interaction on these rhinos or on the cascade spell, so that the next turn you just slam a sneak attack and win that way. It's very interesting, so we're gonna try it out. I did play two games with this before recording, two best of threes. We won both of them, which means that this deck is obviously tier zero, undefeatable, best thing in the meta, etc. But beyond that, let's talk about the sideboard because we did have to make a lot of changes. Unfortunately, the number one card that this deck could run against Show and Tell, Vexing Bauble, does not work with Bloodmood Marauder. It's going to counter our own cascade spells, and it's going to mess up our cascading anyway. I briefly considered playing it anyway, because then we could cascade into our hate piece, which would certainly be interesting. But I decided that we could try to change up the show and tell interaction speed. This is a deck that can run Stonebrain because we do run the Soul Land Ugin's Labyrinth, and we do generate a lot of extra mana in this deck. So I think it's very possible to Stonebrain our opponents on turn 2 in this deck, though more realistically it's going to happen on turn 3. Hopefully that's still fast enough. And then we have Titan of Industry and Reclamation Sage effects to also bring in against Show and Tell. So the idea is when they cast their silly Show and Tell card, we put this into play, and then they lose unless they have a Born Upon a Wind. As for the other sideboard cards, we've got up to Disruptor Flute as other ways to interact. Also, another thing that we miss here is our Graveyard Hate, because we were playing Surgical Extraction, Turn the Earth. Can't play those anymore. Also can't play Haywire Might. A lot of ones that we miss out on, so we're just relying on Endurance and Force of Vigor as well, which are not bad cards, don't get me wrong. It's just that I worry that these cards are a little expensive on the mana. We can't just jam them on turn 1 and then go on with our game plan turn 2 and onward, like you can sometimes otherwise. And then we still have the two Brotherhoods in the sideboard from before. This is very, very similar to the original decks. I really did not do any changes beyond flex slots out, Marauders in. I converted some of the one drops into cash grabs so that we still have 8 of this effect. And seems like it works. Seems like this combination of cards is able to hobble together some wins. So I'm going to go ahead and play it on video. We'll see whether or not cascading is actually worth the deck slots. And let's get to gameplay. All right, game one. We're up against Takobyte. Hopefully he's playing something fun because we're playing something really, really fun here. We have a one-lander, which I don't think I'm going to be a huge fan of keeping on the play, even though we got a lot of gas in our hand. Let's throw this back. This is cool. We don't have a way to get Delirium, but we can get there. We want back. Put back the Besiju. If we draw a 7-drop, this land will be really, really good. I don't even have a fetch land to get a Surveil land, which is kind of my concern here. I think more likely than not, we're just getting up Furying his board, right? Alright, well, Hive of the Eye Tyrant Gaming is happening on the other side of the battlefield. I'm curious what he's up to. He's also probably curious what the hell I'm doing. What a pile of cards in my hand. It's a pile of good cards, but it's certainly a pile of cards. Ah, I knew I'd draw it. I knew it. Oh, I'm gonna be good to copy stuff starting very soon. Alright. Umag. Go under. Your turn. So if we draw a ring next turn, we could just play it. Mono black Gaiman coming through. It's talent. Opponent discards 2 cards unless they discard a non-land card. I'm going to take a wild guess and say Fury is not going to be necessary for this game. Oh, Rumble. Fantastic, honestly. So what we're going to do here, we're going to be very careful with our tapping. Tap for the colorless. We've got to keep a red colorless up so that we can Bloodbraid after. And then I want Fable in my hand, I think. Yep, this is going to give me Delirium here. Alright. I hope this ends up on his YouTube video too. This is cool. Alright, and the next turn we can copy up that God Pharaohs. We don't have a juicy payoff in the graveyard, but Fury plus the Rhinos attacking should be enough to kill him, I would assume. Oh, hey! No playing board wipes. It's toxic. It's against the gentleman's agreement. So we can haste up a Fury. I don't know if that's going to be great, right? It is a lot of power, though, if we haste up the Fury right now. It's going to be 8 power, which is half their life total. But what is really sweet is that if we can get Fable the Mirror Breaker down, they're a discard deck. So I think it's a pretty good idea to get Fable down ASAP. And then what we could do next turn is we can discard the Ulamog, tap this land, send the Ulamog back to our hand, discard it. Gotta put the stop here. Always put stops in your first main when you have Fable the Mirror Breaker out, because oftentimes you want to do something in response to that draw discard trigger on Chapter 2. So we're going to put this into our hand. Definitely depends on what we draw to. I would like to draw another land in that case so that we actually have enough to copy up the God Pharaohs. Takobyte's going to level that up. Makes sense, because I'm Helmet. I have 1 or fewer, so I can't return this right now to play around that. Oh, Bloodbraid again. I kind of want to just cast him. I'll cast him if we don't hit the land drop here. Go Masters? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, I'm still gonna discard this, I'm pretty sure, even though I lose my little token. Annihilator 10, you just can't turn that down, man. Because I get to make a bunch of Rhinos to at least buy a turn. Alright, nice. Ah, they knew the impending doom was coming. So what do we do against 8-Rack? You don't know, 8-Rack's an old, modern Legacy too, I think, deck. Built around the card The Rack, which had the same effect as this. You would discard your opponent, and then they would lose life for it. So we probably want Force of Vigor, just to blow up their enchantments. I assume that's going to be their main way of interacting with us. I don't think Fury's going to be needed, because if they're main decking Toxic Deluge, it means probably their only creatures are Bowmasters and a couple of other little things. So as the last card, do we want just the Rex Sage so that we can play Rex Sage on 3 to blow up their stuff? Do we want Titan of Industry? Let's go ahead and do something like this. Titan is more for show and tell, where we can get it in for free off of their silly card. Yeah, I think this is going to be pretty good. I'm going to guess that the One Ring is going to be pretty good against the discard deck. Let's find out. Alright, game 2. We got a sideboard card in our hand. We got a One Ring in our hand. I like both of those things, so let's go ahead and keep this one. Alright, Thoughtseize, yep. Of course my hand is going to get ripped apart, so probably don't get to keep most of the good cards. I think the best take for him is actually Cash Grab, because that's what I'm going to use to set up my stuff. But we'll see what they actually take. Alright, take Cash Grab. Thankfully we naturally draw a land drop, which is exactly what I was hoping for. I'm going to go ahead and Surveil here. I'm hoping to hit maybe an Ugin's Labyrinth land for acceleration, maybe just something like a Fable or a Cascade Boy that we can just play next turn. Ah, I love this card. This is an Alchemy card I wish was a little more playable in Timeless. All right, what are we doing? I think we could give them one of our random cards, because our cards are kind of garbage if you don't have the right deck, you know? Like who cares if they get a Rumble? I think we just discard Sneak, right? I think I'm just discarding Sneak here. Maybe I could discard Force too. Random card in my deck? I mean, I have good cards like the One Ring. Yeah, I'll get rid of two. Oh, discarding at least this one. I'm gonna say no. It'll at least be fun on the YouTube video if you steal something, right? Do we want land 4? It's just a land. I'm gonna say no, because I have a lot of ways to either draw a land or draw a Rumble effect, which draws a land. So Shift goes into play, Rumble. And then, do I want to sneak attack here? I have nothing to actually sneak into play. I think it's better just put my sneak in my graveyard. I can take a backup Shift just in case he's running Field Ruin, because it's a one-color mana base. Definitely have some utility lands in there. And I think next turn we're just going to jam a Ring. Assuming we don't get discarded, of course. Big assumption. Alright, yep, Thought sees me take my Ring. Happens. I mean, you could be really generous and take God Pharaoh's Gift, put it in my graveyard for me. I would appreciate that. It would make good content for both of us. No? Alright. Hey, that's mine! He did get a good card out of my library. Dang. I could force it, maybe. Oh, hello, Ulamog. Alright, nobody panic. I think I might just take out their Fable. Or do I want to? Because I will have 5 mana to copy Sneak Attack next turn if I just do nothing. Like if I just sit here and my spawn doesn't die. I need 5 mana to copy Sneak Attack because I need to copy it and then have a red mana up for the activation. Oh, I don't have a card in exile. Uh-oh. I didn't realize that. Maybe I should have blown up the Fable. Not great. This Fable in play, discard these two, move on with my life. Also, next turn I could start like copying Ring with Woodland and just slow drawing cards. That's another option. I'm gonna do that next turn. Okay, Dark Ritual, yeah. Go blank. No. Bruh. Can't exile my graveyard, that's cheating. Needed that. I think we keep these two in hand. And we rebuild the graveyard. We have to rebuild, okay? That's such a good mind play. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Discard me. I am good to be discarded. I'm going to drop a God Pharaoh's Gift. Resolve? Graveyard.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Ah, he wins again. I love being lucky. I just Lily plus me real quick so I can dump the Sulamog. Thank you. I should have drawn with Ring first. I know that's like technically the correct play, but I want to discard that Ulamog. Let me live, okay? Alright, cash grab? Yeah. Drawn cards? Yeah. Ooh, I get Delirium. Alright, no one panic. Can I get an untapped land here? I can. And I can get Delirium. Oh shit. I don't know, guys. I know we're playing against a jank deck, but like the fact that my combo deck can just make a bunch of creatures out of nowhere is pretty sweet. I gotta say. Like, this just felt dope. Again, like, this is cool, right? We just top deck 11 power, and now he needs to solve this 11 power in play, and even if he spends 2-3 removal spells here, now I have Shifting Woodland combo ready for next turn, so yeah, get out janked. Hard to call this deck jank, though, because most of it is a really proven deck, and we just kind of shove Marauder into it. I Fatal Push my Rhino, yeah, you're gonna minus on the Rhino, too? Hard. Oh, shit. Nice. All right, game two. I would love to play against another 8-rack player. It would help make this deck look good. I think this is actually looking at my opponent's companion. If it said Luris here, I would keep this because we have Fury and an extra sneak attack to pitch away. Since I see no companion, it probably means combo, which means we're going to mulligan here because these Furies are going to be blank pieces of cardboard, and the second sneak attack also a blank piece of cardboard. Of course, we could Fable loot them away, but we don't have a turn 2 Fable. So let's send that back. Cool stuff here. I think we keep one of the Ulamogs when we send things back. And then, yeah, keep it like this. We'll be aiming for a turn 3 ring, and then we take it from there. If this is a combo deck, then turn 3 ring might just get us killed. We might just cast a ring on turn 3, and they'll cast Show and Tell, and yeah, we lose. But my opponent mulligan to 5, which is hopefully good for us. Blooming Marsh, so they're probably Jetstorm Gaming. What can I do against Jetstorm Gaming? Nothing really, right? I think what I can do to maximize my chances of being able to play a Fable next turn is to lead with the Ugin's Labyrinth as opposed to leading with Forest. So this way, if I draw a red source, we can jam Fable. If I don't, we go ahead and Rumble. Yeah, Jetstorm Gaming. Cool to see more people picking up Jetstorm. So we can go Forest here, Rumble. I just want to land, specifically a red one. So I will go ahead and take the Stomping Ground. And then we're at 3 out of 4 Delirium with that, which is, nope, just 2 out of 4, but it's fine. We'll have a ring next turn. If we get another red source, we can even sneak the turn after. But that's assuming I draw a big fatty. Where's your Necro, opponent? Don't tell me you kept a Necroless hand. Don't do that. Maybe they kept 2 lands and a Necro. They just didn't draw number 3 yet. Maybe they have DI off of this. Yeah, okay. They're getting there. Just a bit of a slow draw for Jetstorm. They're going to be winning turn 5, probably. You know, assuming that they do their combo, right? Unless they have land, Dark Ritual, Necro as their last 3 cards, then they win on turn 4. Ooh, Grief Me. Grief Me, pitch Necro. Huh. Okay. Sure. Well, the good news is that the best card in my hand is One Ring, and I have an extra copy, so I think we're safe here. They probably take, yeah, Sneak Attack. I'll have to draw another win condition. God Pharaohs, that's a win condition. So actually what I could do, well, I don't have a Shifting Woodlands. If I had a Shifting Woodlands, I could return Ulamog to my hand, play Fable, discard these 2, then win. But since we don't, we're going to play One Ring, and we're going to draw a bunch of cards. Yep, that's the Necro. Okay, so that's why they pitched Necro. They tutored for a second one. Or maybe they tutored for the Grief there. Or maybe they tutored for a Ritual. I have no clue. Wait, so my opponent is almost definitely going to win next turn. I'm just going to activate my ring so I can just auto pass and let them do their turn. Alright, so my opponent actually ended up going for a really small Necro here. I think in their position, they're supposed to Necro for 19 and just go to 1 life. Because I don't play like any reach in my deck. They should be trying to win when they untap. Interesting. They did get rid of a Nightmare when they discarded, which is interesting. Maybe they have multiple copies, or maybe they have the combo good to go. Let's go ahead and ring. Cool. So we have a Shifting Woodland. If we get lucky. With our Rumble, maybe this can go somewhere. Also might want to return this to my hand. So how do we want to do this? Do we think our opponent's going to win next turn? If we don't think they're going to win next turn, because they didn't necessarily set up a win, then what we can do is we can play our Fable and return this to our hand. But I think we could do it all. So let me Rumble here. And then we play Fable if not. Oh, Sneak Attack. Okay. Sneak Attack, Cheat in Ulamog next turn. I don't have any other big cards in exile. They have a 3 in exile, but that's not enough. I think I'm just going to take a land. Well, I might as well take the Sneak, because I already have a Sneak in the graveyard copy, so I'll take the Sneak. And then I will go ahead and do this. I'll go ahead and play this Fable. I'll Surveil, not that it matters too much. And then we're going to put the stop on our first main again. We don't need to draw that. Right? Stop on the first main, then what we're going to do, we're going to knock this back to our hand. We're going to discard these two. We will have Delirium off of that. And we will be able to play Woodland, activate it, God-Pharaoh's Gift. You know the drill. Okay, this is good, because my opponent can't really screw with me here. They could discard my Sneak Attack, but that's not how I was trying to win anyway. I want to discard things. Okay, so they do take Sneak, because that's fair. If I, like, rip a big fatty off the top, or just, draw it with the One Ring, that is a way I can kill them. They do have the guaranteed kill. I'm curious if they have enough to win. I just don't think they probably do with that few cards. They might have, like, just a Nightmare and be able to loop Grief a few more times for value, but still, like, I want to discard my cards. What are they going to do here? Right, that is a Nightmare. They could do an incomplete combo as it stands. Yeah, looks like they don't have a second treasure door here. They also can't start comboing because they only have 3 energy and they have a 4-drop in their graveyard, Grief. So they actually need more energy here. Yeah, so my opponent's probably going to draw 10 cards here. Skip ahead. So once again, my opponent was kind of afraid to draw too deep when I'm, like, playing a degenerate combo deck here. Alright, come back to my hand. Yeah, 1, you come back. I could possibly lose to, like, Bowmasters here, so I'm not going to draw cards. I mean, I'm at 12, so I highly doubt I would die to Bowmasters, but let's discard these two. Alright, shifty shifty. Tap. I would like to copy up God-Pharaoh's Gift. And then I will have a good old-fashioned Annihilator 10 attacker. You know, a classic. My dearest opponent, please sacrifice your whole board for me. They have something. Oh, they do have a Bowmasters. Ha! I knew it. I think this means they can keep 1 permanent in play now. Please sacrifice 10 permanents for me, opponent. Oh, wait. With the marionettes, do I die? No, right? I almost die, but I don't think I do. Yeah. Oof, that was a little close. A little close for comfort, huh? Ah! I'm at 1! Wait, I died! No way. Oh, no. Oh, rats. Okay, that was really funny. Alright, good news. We have so many sideboard cards against them. Like, it is not funny. Yeah, we have so many sideboard cards, it's not even funny. We can Stone Brain them, we can Endurance them, we can Force of Vigor them, we can Disruptor Flute them, we can do it all. How do I make a room? We can take out the Cascade package and just call it a day. I mean, yeah, I totally could. Also take out Ring. Yeah, Ring's just gonna be slow against them, right? Take out Ring. Take out a cash grab, a sneak attack, and then run it back like this. Right, that's a Stone Brain, but we can't snap it off too early. I still can't believe they won that. That was so funny. We'll go ahead and keep this. I think on the play we'll be able to like rip Chthonian Nightmare out of their deck before they can do much. That's a freebooter early. Let's go ahead and surveil here. Good news is that like I don't know if my opponent can win before I get to Stone Brain them. So let's go ahead and Stone Brain you. Of course they could like go ahead and go Swamp Haywire. I might screw you. It would be funny. I would laugh. I'd be upset, but I would laugh about it. I think if I just Stone Brain Nightmare, I can go over the top of them. Next turn, we also get to think, do we want to Rumble first and then Stone Brain? We could use the extra mana off the Rumble. The cool part is that even if like my opponent Necros here, I still get to like, Stone Brain their combo piece. There's no shot you can win this turn, by the way. Don't mess with me like that. They have 6 mana. Shambling Ghast, Jet, Nightmare Marionette, do it. DI? Chat, is he gonna do it? No fucking shot they turn to me. Marionette? Oh, okay, Necro. Whoa. Okay, so we get to pull Chthonian Nightmare out of their deck when we untap, which is great. Alright, Ulamog the Defiler. I honestly don't care. I think I'm going to Surveil instead of Rumbling first. Let's just take Chthonian Nightmare out of your deck. We also take Marionette out of the deck, but the thing is, if we do that, they can have like 1 copy of Meat Hook here. Oh, what's cool is they can exile. So now if they happen to exile like a Marionette, they can still win. Or a Nightmare. I'm gonna name Nightmare. I think that's the correct name, and then it's just a bit of a gamble on whether or not it got exiled. Chthonian Nightmare, please. Hello? Autocomplete, thank you. Alright, no Nightmares in hand. 4 in library. Unfortunate. I got all 4. Alright, so there were none hiding in exile over there, and now I just need to win the game with a ham sandwich. My opponent could also win with a ham sandwich of their own. Don't underestimate them. Yeah, Ritual. I mean, they have like a good hand. And they're gonna be reloading with Necro again on end step. They're gonna get 2 apprentices down? They can just kill me slowly. Freebooter, and then they get to DI here, maybe for another apprentice, and they go for the fair beatdown. Alright, yeah, grief me. So I think my opponent's actually really favored, even though I Stonebrained their win con. They got 6 more cards coming in off exile too. I do gotta kind of get lucky here, I'm not gonna lie. Endurance? Not it, unfortunately. I could play Fable, but I also don't know if that's it. Think we lost, chat. I don't know what else to say. I think we lost. Another Stone Brain. There's a sneak attack. I could just take a land here and then jam Fable. Because I think one of my few chances of winning is kind of to spike a Shifting Woodland off the top of my deck and then do the thing. I still died to Marionette things though. I think I still died. I don't think sneak attack's gonna help me though, so I'm just gonna take a land. I don't think attacking either of these is going to help me. Attacking them with the Boseiju, that is, so I'm just gonna play Fable. And I think I lose, even though I interacted with my opponent. Jetstorm is such a nasty deck. Alright, yeah, I think I block here. I'm gonna lose too. Not a great outcome, but what else am I gonna do? I think we lost, right? Because I took my Furies out. So I can't hit Marionette. So if I interact with their board by attacking them, they could just block and kill me because I'm at 7. I think we lose. I'm going to scoop to the Jetstorm player here. I did not have a way to... I didn't have an out once they got 2 Marionette Apprentices out. So maybe when I sideboard against Jetstorm, I should keep Furies in? I'm thinking about the matchup, actually, because I don't know. Was my sideboarding correct? Hmm. Yeah, Jetstorm's a screwed up deck. That's why I like playing it so much. Very powerful. Why I keep recommending it to people. All right, game 3. We're up against a Brainstorm Crow. What are we looking here? We are looking at a hand that probably just fables on turn 3 and wins kind of slowly. We're against no companion, so worries me that it might be a fast combo deck, but I don't think there's too much we could do about that game 1. I'm going to keep third land on top. And then next turn we're just going to play the Boseiju as a land. Or maybe not. Maybe we are up against combo gaming and we want to hold it. But am I really going to hold up mana to channel the Boseiju? I don't think so. I don't think I will anytime in the near future. But I think I should just try to do my own thing. Perhaps that's a mistake. Here we can take Ugin's Labyrinth and get the burst of mana. Yeah. Or, this is interesting. Take Ugin's Labyrinth, put the Ulamog in exile. We would have enough mana to cast Sneak Attack next turn, but then we'd have nothing to Sneak Attack. If we put Ulamog into our hand, then we do have something to Sneak Attack, but we don't have the mana to cast it. I'm going to take the Ugin's Labyrinth. I'm going to take that mana. We can always find another big fat creature to sneak into play, or another way to exile something. Ooh, Thundering Falls. Okay. So it's not show and tell gaming. Oh, it's the Jeskai Stifle deck. Nice. Oh, that's getting countered. You know what else might get countered? Oh, actually, the chapter abilities don't get countered, right? That's how sagas work. As it enters versus when it enters. Alright, so then we'll have to decide what we want to do next turn. Do we want to discard the Ulamog? I think we'll keep the Ulamog. Yeah, that sucks. I should have maybe paid 2. Because I need a card in exile. Did I screw up, guys? If there's a Null Drifter. And my opponent gets to keep it, which is concerning. Alright, discard a Sneak Attack, and probably a land here. Oh, a ring. That's pretty good. I'm gonna rumble first, maybe? If I rumble... I can't rumble and ring, though, right? Yeah, maybe I just cast ring here. Cast ring, start drawing some cards. I'll sacrifice probably this Fable. And then next turn we try to do something stupid. I don't get the protection for a turn, but that's not too relevant. It's only worth 5 life, and I'm trying to win the game sooner rather than later here. What do I do against their deck? Like, what's my sideboard cards for them? I really don't have much. I feel like my sideboard might be no sideboard in this matchup. I'm just thinking about it a little bit. I don't think it's worth stone braining or looting anything in their deck. Alright, Fury coming through. Gonna get rid of my 2/2, that's fine. And I get to keep it. I gotta pay for the right trigger, of course. Oh, to decline to pay for both. Okay, well, they'll just take a Fury. That's fine. What they pitch here? Monkey. Oh, interesting. I've seen people build this deck as a control deck before, not really playing Monkey. We'll get rid of that. That is a game piece that does not really impact the board anymore. I'm going to draw a bunch of cards, and hopefully with a bunch of cards drawn, we can win the game. No promises here. Ah, Footfalls. Okay, that card does nothing. Ah, a Marauder. This card does something. What do we want to do here? We got this much mana. How are we going to use it? We can play Marauder and play Fable at the Mirror Breaker. We could also do Rumble, Cash Grab, Marauder, which is probably like a lot stronger. Let's tap our colorless source first. Rumble. I would love to hit a good old land, or a good old Shifting Woodland specifically. We can keep this as a sneak target, actually. That would be actually a really nice sneak target. And I might keep this as a permanent to sack to Annihilator. Some Rhinos. Yeah. And then we can suspend Rhinos number 2 over here. And then next turn, maybe just sneak in Titan, and hopefully that's enough. My opponent might have Counterspell here, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Mana Drain coming through. Alright. Suspend. Alright, we're gonna get attacked here. Annihilator coming through. We should get rid of Marauder. That's fine. I think we can also just jump here so that we won't die. Then next turn we get sneaking a bit. That boy coming off and suspend. Ooh, God Pharaohs. Interesting. Okay, that's another Ulamog the Defiler. Oh, I need to put something really juicy in exile, but I also want to play my sneak attack. So I think maybe next turn we'll put something juicy into exile. And then this turn we're just going to play sneak attack. Rena. Good old auto tapper. This turn we're going to play sneak attack. If it gets countered, I think we lose the game, unfortunately. Because we're going to take a bunch of damage in the air and take some One Ring damage. Yeah, I think we're out of here. Was there another line that I had that turn that played around Counterspell a little bit better? I mean, I could have played Cash Grab, tried to hit a Shifting Woodland, and then went off from my graveyard. But that would involve them not countering the Cash Grab and me getting lucky with the hit. So I think my decision there was fine. As for sideboarding, yeah, I don't think we're sideboarding anything. I mean, we can probably do Force of Vigor off of over 2 of the Furies. And just run it back like this. Alright, game 3, we're going to be on the play. Ooh, so we can suspend Footfalls turn 1 and then Cash Grab and hopefully just spamming more Footfalls. I think that is a good way to get under my opponent, to be honest. So let's just go ahead and suspend right away. Go ahead and get a Stomping Ground here so we get all of our mana. And we will get suspending. Their deck is not exactly lightning fast. I mean, they can have a nasty curve out where they go turn 2 Proctor into turn 3 Null Drifter. But that is their nut draw, and if they don't do that, they are going quite slow, setting things up. I think this is going to be good. Let's go ahead and start with a Rumble. Ooh, yeah, we're putting a bunch of types in the graveyard. I will take a Fable here. And that is 3 out of 4 right there, and we're missing instant, so Cash Grab would make it 4 out of 4, which is awesome. Alright, there's the Strict Proctor, part of that nut draw. I think here we're still going to Cash Grab, though. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a basic. Grab a basic. Cash grab. Oh, more. The thing is, we don't have actually more delirium targets for Bloodbraid, so I'm not gonna take it. I'm just gonna take my land drop. And let's make some rhinos. Nice. Yeah, there's the net draw I talked about. They have it both games. Good for them. Right, but we can get attacking with the rhinos, so there's a lot of counterplay here for us. We're gonna get the pressure on them the same way they put the pressure on us. So let's go ahead, attack with our rhinos. They're gonna trade, nice. So we don't have to face down that Annihilator 1 trigger. That's awesome. I think I'm gonna just put more pressure on him. There's definitely arguments to play something else, but I think all of this creature pressure is what's gonna win us the game. And then next turn we could do something really stupid from our graveyard, maybe. Probably not. We don't have anything crazy in there right now, but we do have Woodland online. Like, realistically, we just cast the One Ring. Seeing that my opponent played Ragavan is making me not want to play around control magic like Wrath of the Skies. That's definitely a card we lose to right now. I'd be very mad because the Cascade X equals 1 and their Proctor lives. And all of my stupid cards die. Because these are all 0 mana. Nice Lotus Field technology coming through. Alright. Fury coming through, yeah. They get to strict proctor one of these triggers, so they get to keep the Fury in play and do 4 damage, which is pretty crazy. Right, yeah, they'll kill my Marauders. So they should be paying for one and not paying for the other. A little hard to tell with Arena. In paper, you could just say out loud, alright, I'm stifling the correct trigger, and your opponent gets it. Alright, they did it wrong. They could have stifled one trigger and not the other, I believe. Alright, oh right, I don't get to surveil. Huh. Oh well. Have some rhinos. Rhinos getting countered. Last suspend thing getting stifled. Big. It was huge. Huge stifle. If you stifle the last suspend coming off there, it's actually a straight up counter spell, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and attack our opponent for 12, and then we're just going to jam a One Ring. Wait, we don't get the protection for a turn, but that's really not why I'm playing it right now. I just want to draw a crap ton of cards. We do have more than enough power on board to win the game, but of course my opponent can draw an answer. They're going to have 5 mana, maybe 6 after brainstorming. They have lots of outs here. Right, that'll be game 2 for us. Same sideboarding, run it back. All right, game 3. We have a hand that double suspends footfalls, and honestly, that beat my opponent last time. They're going to be on first here, so it's going to be a little faster, but I think I want to keep this. I'm going to guess this is going to be good enough again. And if the rhinos aren't good enough, then we can, of course, just cash grab into a busted woodland moment. Uh-oh, drawing all 3, that's suboptimal, though, I will say. I did not want to draw all 3. I wanted to have 1 at least for the Marauder. Alright, let's go ahead and just suspend 2 more footfalls, right? Alright, you beat that opponent. Alright, someone hit a 1-lander, so yeah. This game might go somewhere. Let's go ahead and cash grab. What do we want to keep here? Probably Stomping Ground? Or a GPG? Would I ever want GPG in my hand? Not really. I can go ahead and surveil here to try and get Delirium since I'm at 3 out of 4. Alright, my opponent did hit their land drop, which is cool. I think I might just take a super aggressive angle next turn, though. Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to pitch the Fury to do nothing here. Oh, actually, I'm going to pitch the Fury to just keep it in play. Because their Strict Proctor will benefit me. Oh, I should have surveilled in response to this, by the way. -1. They're going to do the same thing I'm doing. They get a free Fury. I'm going to get a free Fury too, but I'm going to use my free Fury to kill their free Fury. Way too dank. Alright, let me get that, because I won't be able to surveil. Alright, counter's coming off. Okay, so here, we can do this right. I'm going to play Fury. I'm going to get 2 triggers. 4 damage onto their Fury. Okay, so which one am I paying for? I'm paying for this first one. Auto pay. Yeah, there we go. We did it right. And then Stomping Ground tapped. Your turn. So we will have total Rhino victory upcoming. All right, footfalls, footfalls, footfalls coming through. First one coming off is Suspend. No Stifle available. Haha, my boy Ulamog. And guess who got Delirium with nothing to do with it? Me. Yeah, we can copy up a God Pharaoh's. It's not going to do anything. So probably what I'm going to want to do is just surveil on my unstep and see if we can surveil into anything good. By my unstep, I mean theirs. We're going to have to pay 2 mana for it, but mana's not going to do anything else, and it looks like my opponent cannot handle the Rhinos. All right, that was a good showing for the Rhinos, I'll be honest. So, thoughts on the deck? Well, let's get to the deck first. All right, Arena UI is kind of wonking out on me right now, but thoughts on the deck? Honestly, putting this combo into it did not make it terrible. I don't want to go ahead and jump to conclusions and say that this is better than the original version. The original version was really fluid. It ran like a well-oiled machine. But like, I liked this. This put 11 power into play proactively, very quickly, often on turn 3. I liked it. I mean, 11 power on turn 3 is what modern Rhinos was doing with Violent Outburst, right? They were doing, or with Shardless Agent was 10 power on turn 3. So, yeah, maybe there's room for a Bloodbraid Marauder deck. I like that this deck has a lot of cards to find the Bloodbraid Marauder. I mean, it's not as all in as the original deck right here, right? But maybe we can make a deck that's a bit more reasonable in between these, right? Do we really need to play like Incubation and Twin Shot Sniper to enable Delirium? No, that previous deck just showed that we get Delirium on turn 3 pretty much every single time without playing all these goofy cards. So I'm interested. I'm definitely interested in thinking about Cascade Rhinos more. I think it might be legit. I don't know if this is the legit deck. I don't know if this deck is better than the normal version of Gruul. I think the normal version of Gruul Gift is a little better, to be honest. But if people can work on the sideboard and really figure this out and really learn to play with this proactive part of the deck, it could be pretty strong. And there definitely could be a deck out there that I haven't thought of yet that uses Marauder plus Footfalls. It's interesting because this combo's been on Arena for a while, and I tried making this work a long time ago whenever this got added. What was it? Ixalan special guests? And I couldn't make it work. But since then, we got Cash Grab and Rumble, which are the real reasons that it works. We have the cards that enable Delirium really, really easily. And kind of like the deck kind of built itself with like One Ring, Fable, blah, blah, blah. So this is interesting. I'm going to keep thinking about it. I don't know if this is the final form. Um, I don't know if you should blow your 4 mythics on footfalls right now, but if you have the mythics and you want to have fun, sure, go ahead and have fun with footfalls. I'd appreciate if more people got cooking with footfalls and brewing up cool new crashing footfalls decks because it's a thing on Arena. And by the way, if we ever do get like a Violent Outburst Shardless Agent on the client, oh man, you bet it would go absolutely hard because Delirium, it is a requirement. People can bring in Graveyard Hate against you, which is something that you have to be aware. All right, that's it for the yapping for me. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any ideas for the deck, and I will see you in the next video.